Hi besties, good to have you guys back here. It's been a while. Guys, I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful high-low crop top, okay, that has ruffles and also has this collar kind of effect at the neck area. So I know you'll be interested in this. Kindly stay tuned and watch to the end because you're going to be learning something, and this tutorial is very beginner friendly, so watch to the end and do not stop liking and subscribing. So guys, I think like 1.5 yard of fabric. Okay, so we're going to go right into the tutorial. Now what's going to add the length of the fabric is the length of your back plus the length of your front piece minus the ruffle. I hope this is clear. Now if you want the back to be long all the way to the hem, you can do 50 plus the front length. If the front length is 10 inches, add that to it. Okay, that's the length of the fabric. Now when you open it up this way, it's on fold of 2. Can you see? You're going to fold it this way, just the way you see me do. The shorter part of the front, you're going to fold it on the longer part. Now this longer part is the back piece. This part we're folding in is the length of your front, the front of your high-low top minus the ruffles. Okay, remember we're going to be attaching ruffles to this. Now whatever you have at the front length, add 2 inches to that, because when we take out the neck depth, it will affect the length. I hope this is clear. So measure up what you have. I want the front length to be 7 inches, so that's 7 inches. I'm adding 2 inches to that, meaning I'm having 9 inches. So I had a little bit of excess. I'm trimming that off. So you're going to measure your front length plus 2 inches, meaning you're subtracting the ruffle from it. The ruffle is not added to this yet. I hope this is clear. Now after doing that, we're going to go ahead and mark the front neck depth and the neck width. Okay, so I'm going to be marking 3 by 3. Now you can make yours 2.5 by 3 as far as it will pass through your neck, but we're going to go ahead and open up the back a little bit so you can wear this easily. So I'll go ahead and connect this in a cuffed manner. Now after folding like this, you realize that the fabric is now on a fold of 4. The front part is shorter and the back part is longer. Okay, so after doing that, go ahead and cut out, and you go ahead and open this up. This is your front piece. You open it up this way. Now your fabric is laying flat. Can you see what we have? So at the back part here, this longer part is the back part, the shorter part is the front part. Okay, now at the back part, I'm going to make an opening so that this top can be worn easily. So the length of the opening at the back is 4 inches. Now you can ignore this if what you've cut out is enough for this top to pass through your head freely. You can ignore this part. Okay, but I opened this up by 4 inches at the back. Now after doing that, if you measure up the length of the front, now you see that we have 7 inches. Okay, now this straight part, you're just going to go ahead and create a curve. Okay, there's no formula for this. Just don't leave it straight. Okay, just the way it is. Go ahead and curve it all the way. Can you see what I have? You curve it back to the length. Please, if this is not clear to you, just take your time and re-watch this. Now from the neck area, when you measure to the back, you see the length I have for my back is 19 and the length I have for the front is now 7 inches. Okay, after cutting out the neck, there will be a shortage. That's why I said you should add 2 inches to the length you need for your front piece. Remember, we've not added the ruffle allowance or length yet to this. I hope this is clear. So what will guide your fold is the length of the back piece plus the length of the front piece, because you're cutting the two at the same time. I hope this is clear. And then go ahead and create this curve and cut this out. So it's as simple as that. Now when you open this up, can you see what we have? You have that exact high-low effect with the flounce effect or the curved effect at the edges. So now that slit you created helps you to know the back, okay, of your top. and then this part is the front. Now the next thing we're going to do is to measure round in order to know the number of ruffle we're going to cut out. Okay, you can use this shoulder line or create a mark with your chalk, so you know that that's the starting line of your measurement. You're going to measure round back to that line. Okay, I hope this is clear. So just create a mark for you to know where you started measuring from, and that mark is where you're going to stop your measurements as well. Sorry. So go ahead and take your time and measure this round. Now if you're a beginner, whether beginner or not, I'd advise that you take this measurement round minimum 2 times, okay, to be sure. I hope this is clear. Now whatever measurement you have, you're going to be timesing it by 3 or times it by 2.5, depending on how much fabric you have and how much ruffles you want to create. If you want this splitting to be really full, okay, to come out full, you have to multiply whatever you have round this your fabric. You're going to be multiplying it by 3. If you don't have enough fabric, you can do 1.5 or 2 or 2.5. So when I measured round, I had 60 plus 55, that's like 115. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out strip of fabric for this. Now this is a little piece of fabric I have left. Okay, so I'm just using this to create an illustration for us on how to create this. Now there are many ways to cut the ruffles. You can go ahead and fold it like a fillet, cut out a radius of 3 inches and keep cutting out with the length that you want, and you multiply it and keep joining till you have what you need, if you have enough fabric. Okay, but if you don't have enough fabric like myself, just go ahead and cut out a long strip of fabric. Okay, as far as it gives you the length that you need and the width that you need, it's enough. You can join them together to make a long strip of fabric for you to use. Now for the length of my ruffles, I'm going to be making the length of the ruffles 5 inches. Okay, you can make it between 5 or 6 inches, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so 5 inches is just perfect. So I'm going to go ahead right now and mark 5 inches all around. I'm going ahead to mark my 5 inches. Whatever length you want for your ruffles, go ahead and mark it, but ensure that the length of this ruffles is the length of what you measured round your top plus the measurement you had after timesing that by 3 or by 2.5 or by 1.5, depending on how much fabric you have. Okay, now if you don't want it to really have that fullness or much pleats, you can times it by 1.5. okay, so whatever you want to do, you can just play around with it. Okay, just be creative with your work. So I'm going ahead to mark 5 inch and I'll connect this and cut it out. I'll go ahead and cut out many pieces, okay, to join together in order to get the length that I need for these ruffles. So I'll cut some more and then I'll bring this back to show us. So can you see what I have? I've gone ahead to cut out many of this because I'm going to be joining this together. I don't have enough fabric, but if you have enough fabric, you can make yours to be one long strip of fabric. So I'll go ahead to join them, okay, to make them long enough, and then I'll create a gathered stitch on one part, and then you can go ahead and hem the other part. Okay, but I did a ready-made weaving for mine and I think that came out more beautiful for me. Okay, so whatever you want, you can go ahead to do at this point. Now I've created a gathered stitch on one side of the ruffle that we want to make. You can go ahead and make a gathered stitch, okay, but I pleated mine, okay, and the style inspiration was pleats. Okay, now the choice is yours on what you want. So you're going to pick one strand of your fabric. Remember, when making your gathers, okay, you don't make it too tight. You sew on the loosest stitch on your sewing machine so that it will be easy for you to pull it. So you're going to separate the 2 threads, pick one and go ahead and drag for your gathers. But I won't be making gathers, so I won't do that. So I'll go ahead to pleat mine. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'll go ahead and make pleats round. This is what I want to do for mine. Okay, but before you go ahead to make the splits, you're going to put this together. Okay, right sides facing each other, the edge of the other ruffle plus this other edge, put it together to make it one long strip and join it together. Can you see what I have? So after joining this, it has become one whole ruffle. It's no longer separated. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to bring in my top. Can you see what we have? You're going to decide which part you want to start creating your ruffles from. Sorry guys about the noise. You can go ahead to start making the ruffles either from the front or from the back, but just make sure that your ruffles will go round and give you the perfect fit you need. Now if you don't have enough fabric, you can decide to ruffle the front and make the back straight. Okay, it depends on your choice and how much fabric you have, but just go ahead and make your work come out neat and beautiful at the end of the day. So you're going to go ahead and place your ruffle on the right side of your fabric. Okay, can you see what I have? Right sides facing each other, and then you go ahead and start creating your pleats around this ruffle. You can go ahead to pin this down round before you stitch if you're a beginner, just to be sure that it will go round, but if you had enough fabric, it should go round. So I'll do that and bring this back to show us. So can you see what we have, guys? This is so cute, and I made the ruffles a little bit scanty because I didn't have enough fabric. Okay, so after doing that, guys, the next thing we're going to be doing is to work on our neckline. Okay, we're going to finish off the neckline neatly. So from the open part at the back, you're going to measure around the neck back to the other opened part at the back of your neckline. Now you can measure this twice as well. I'd advise, just to be sure that you're having the accurate measurement. Okay, can you see the way I'm measuring it? Stretch it out, open it out, and take your time to measure this. So when I measured round to the other opening, I think I had 23 inches. Okay, so we'll go ahead to cut out a strip of fabric that we use to sew round the neck. Now I've already cut out a strip of fabric and I had to join them because I didn't have enough fabric. Okay, sorry guys about the noise. Now the length of this fabric is going to be your neck round, okay, times 2, depending on how long you want it to be. Remember, we're going to be tying like a bow at the back, so if you don't have enough fabric, you can make, let's say, 23 plus 23. Okay, just to have enough fabric to tie at the back piece. Okay, and the length of this fabric is 2 inches on fold. Okay, now after ironing this down, you're going to get the midpoint of this your strip of fabric. Very important, because it will guide us on how to create the fold. Now from the midpoint of this fabric, in order for us to be sure that the line we're going to be creating now is accurate, from the midpoint you're going to measure what you measured round your neck, divide it by 2. I hope this is clear. And whatever figure you have, you're going to measure it from the center to the left side of your strap, and from the center to the other side. What we're trying to do is to ensure that this is straight and accurate. Okay, that we're having the equal measurement on both sides from the center. That's why this center line is very important. Okay, you're going to measure from the center to the other side and mark whatever measurements you have, and you're going to do the same thing from the center as well to the other side of your strap and mark that down. Now when you're done, measure from one marking to the other marking to ensure that it is accurate. It gives you the exact thing you measured round your neck. Okay, now once you're done, you're going to open up your strap to the left side and fold in 1/2 inch at the top part and at the lower part of your strap from that marking that you made, okay, for your neck width. From one marking to the other marking, that's the only part you're going to be folding in your 1/2 inch. Now the other remaining part, you're just going to sew it up this way. I'll take this again so you can understand. Can you see where my marking stops? on the left and on the right. Open your fabric to the wrong side. From that marking, fold in 1/2 inch and stop where the other marking is. Repeat the same thing at the lower part, stop at that same point. Okay, now after stopping there, this other open part, you're going to turn it over, right sides facing each other, and you go ahead and close it up with 1/2 inch and stop at that marking point. Okay, so I'll do this and bring this back to show us. So can you see what I have? Before we go ahead to attach this, go ahead and use your bias to finish up this V part. Okay, I have a tutorial on how to turn a neckline with bias. Sorry guys. Or you can go ahead and fold in 1/4 inch twice, but go ahead and finish this part before we go ahead and attach the strap. Okay, so this is what I mean. Can you see what I have? I've gone ahead to iron in 1/2 inch, and I stopped right at the part I did my marking. From there I closed it up this way, and I repeated the same thing at this other part. I hope this is clear. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this out. From this part we closed, I'll turn it just the way you see me do. Okay, you can use your loop turner, okay, and turn this out to that opening that you left. Go ahead and bring out the corners very well, and when you flip this out, this is what you're going to have. Can you see what we have? Okay, it will give you that fold you made, will help it to give a more relaxed part work. And then the 1/2 inch we folded on both parts, that is where we're going to be attaching to our neck. Okay, I hope this is clear. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other joining as well. Please, if you've watched this tutorial up to this time and you've not subscribed or hit that like button, you are wrong. Please go ahead and like and subscribe, okay, for more interesting and educating tutorial. So can you see what we have? I'll go ahead and give this a good press. Now can you see what we have? I've gone ahead to prepare our strap, and I finished off the neck depth with my bias tape. Can you see what we have? So what we'll do next is to open up this part that we left open, that is to go around our neck. Can you see where the opening starts? And this other part is sealed up. Okay, so you're going to turn your fabric this way. Please watch carefully. From where you stopped your stitch, you're going to insert the neckline of your dress from one open part to the other open part. Can you see what we have? You're going to open this up this way and push in the neckline, okay, by 1/2 inch. Now if you're a beginner, I'll advise you pin this down first, okay, to be sure that what you measured round is correct. Okay, the other part of the strap that you stitched up is going to be the part that will fall at the neck area at the back, where you can go ahead and tie this up. So push in the neck into the opening, the 1/2 inch opening that you left, and go ahead and pin this down. Now why we're pinning this down is to ensure that the fabric is not coming out on the wrong side while we are going ahead to stitch. I hope this is clear. So go ahead and take your time and pin this around before going to your sewing machine to stitch this down. So can you see what I have? You're going to repeat this process round. Now when you flip this to the wrong side, can you see what we have? You're going to use a very close and neat tiny stitch to stitch this round the neckline to this other part. And if you measured accurately, everything should match up accurately. You go ahead and hem the lower part, but I'll be serging mine, and I'll serge the inner part. And once we're done with all of that, this is the end result of our beautiful high-low top with ruffles. I hope this tutorial was simple enough and also easy for you to understand.